Welcome everyone to the show. I'm your host Don Vic. You already know we in the building, baby. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's the vibes? So, real quick, thank everybody that's tuning in and watching the show. Thank you for sharing, because sharing is caring. Thanks, YouTube and Power Post Network. Big shout out to the the 3P family, my man Matt. Big shout out to everyone else that's out there to watch the show. What's up? What's up? What's up? So today we got a great show coming on. We have Denise Pounds coming to the show. We'll be talking to her, finding out exactly what she got going on in her life. She is a writer and a film producer, among other things. So we're going to talk to her and find out exactly what she got going on. You know what I mean? And also at 7 p.m., we have another guest coming on the show by the name of Jose Gonzalez. He is the founder and CEO of 49 Horror Film Festival, and he's also an actor. So we'll be finding out exactly what he got going on in his life. Okay. So, folks, so we're here, we're live, we're shaking and baking. Big shout out to my man, Avi Klein, TKN, you know, the debate show. It's an amazing show. Also with Truly Julie in it, Joe and Kate. A big shout out to them and the whole cast. Those guys are greats. Also, my man, Mike Wagner from the Mike Wagner Show. Big shout out to him. Rebecca Mahan as well. Big shout out to her. Shauna Gibson from Queen G Live Experience. Big shout out to her. My man Jimmy Starr as well out in California, along with Tyrone Tan, another good friend of mine's out there. Great show, great host as well. So many people doing great things. Oh boy, oh boy. So we do have my guest here on the panel. I can't quite see her yet. She's not visible on the panel. So we're just gonna wait to see if she let me just see something real quick. Denise, you can hear me?
I can hear you and I
But
can see you.
right, but I can't see you. So
I have no clue. I am so
is
technology
is your
stupid.
is your camera on?
It is. It
Really?
is.
Hmm.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Not sure why your camera thing is not on, but
Well, me either. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm sorry.
all right. Well, I'll put you backstage for a second. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah. So she is on here. She's trying to figure out the camera part where she can actually be live here with us, and we'll bring her back and we'll talk to her. So yeah, I'm excited to talk to Denise. See what she got going on, folks. You know what I mean? So I hope your weekend was good. My weekend was great. It was my birthday yesterday, so I was a little turned up. Hanging out with my sons. I don't even know what time I got in. Tell you the truth. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And big shout out to Africa, man. Africa, and Kenya and Cameroon and you know other parts of Africa that tune in on my show and show me so much love. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for the love. Also the UK as well. London. Big shout out to London. Show me love. Uh, okay, so we got my guest here. Awesome. So, folks, we're gonna bring Denise Pounds onto the show. Please welcome her.
Hey, when all else fails, ask a teenager.
How you doing?
Not bad. Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you everybody for the birthday wishes, by the way. Thank you so much, Denise, for reminding me to say that. So, how you been?
Oh, not too bad. Technology stupid. Um,
I agree to that.
um, just busy writing. We're in the process of pitching right now and just kind of going with the flow.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for sending me that. It's a great thing. I mean, it's interesting. It's very interesting. I'm in there. I'm probably like on page 20 somewhere with but it's catchy. It caught my attention. I can't stop.
Well, I'm glad
So
that you like.
yeah. So tell us how this all started for you. How this all began. How did you decide you want to become a film writer or producer or director? What brought you to that stage?
Well, many moons ago, to not give away my age, um, there's a director around in our area named Thompson Magala, and he
Okay.
was filming the movie Apocalypse and the Beauty Queen. And I was asked to be an extra. I said, why not? And I just kind of fell in love with film. I met the costume designers, I met the actors, the cameramen, and just started talking. And it was a culture that was just very appealing to me. And I had always written, and I was like, well, why the hell not give it a try? So
Mhm,
here I am working on my first production,
mhm.
and we are at the point to where we just need funding, and we're a go.
Right, right. You know, so was this something that you was thinking of doing when you was say in your high school days, or was that a different track that you was trying to go when you was in high school?
Well, I actually began writing while I was in elementary school, and I think I told you my first story was about an exploding pizza.
Yeah.
I was in second grade, and my dad to this day still has a copy of that story, which is just amazing that he would keep it. So I started writing short stories, and I never imagined myself trying to get into film. Um, it was just nothing I ever thought of. I've always been one. I've got my nose in a book. I'm in a library,
Right.
and then like I said, I just kind of stumbled into it, and I'm happy that I did because the people that I have met, including yourself, are
Thank you.
they're
Thank you.
amazing people. They're absolutely amazing.
Right. It's amazing how you get into a certain industry and you find out that it's great people to work with. Um,
Hmm.
this is art for me. I love the acting, and I wish I can do it more. You know what I mean? Because it's just fun to do, and you learn so much from it. What was that?
Come be a part of Pagan.
Yes, I would
Yeah,
love to be a part of that.
yeah.
I'm so interested and keep and knowing more about your skills. I'm amazed of what you sent me. Just going through it, and I'm like, wow, great writer.
Well,
you know,
I am self-taught. I actually dropped out of high school my
okay,
sophomore year. I was too much into partying at the time,
I get it.
and school just kind of got in the way.
Mhm.
So, um, I wound up pulling my head out of my rear end and got my GED the same month and year I was supposed to graduate, and then
Okay,
just kind of went
went
with
from
it.
yeah, yeah. So, you know, so as a kid, something must have attracted you to start to write, right? Short films. Was there something or someone that inspired you uh, to
Well,
become a writer or to um, take the role of the filming industry?
well, growing up, I was an army brat. My dad served for 20 years,
I mean,
and
Brad. Oh, I knew I see something there. I said, she tough. I gotta know what side she on. Okay, military.
well, I was a paramedic for 15 years, and that kind of gave me some thick skin and toughened me up too. But
Okay,
Yeah, we traveled the world, and my favorite places to go were the ruins and the castles. And there was one that really, I was given a prompt years later to write a fiction piece of fiction from a memory, and I don't remember what castle we were at, but there is a labyrinth, and you go through the labyrinth, and at the end of the labyrinth is a cave, and you walk through this cave, and you can, put your hands across the wall, and you could feel the coldness and the moisture. And
Wow.
when you get to the middle, it's like an underground grotto,
Mm,
and just this little tiny lake, and in at the end of this lake was a huge wooden boat carved like a swan. And they said that the king that lived there used to sit there and listen to the mermaids sing. And
mm,
so it was the stories like that that inspired me.
mm. It would inspire me too hearing that.
It was a wonderful upbringing. I've been to the Leaning Tower of Pisa all the way up to the top, and I've been to Paris. We lived in Belgium, and the thing I remember most is the old cobblestone streets
Right,
and
right.
things like that kind of take you back. And being immersed in a culture like that, it's just the most inspiring thing that there is.
Mm. And it wants to make you dig further into it when you start to see things like that and
Oh,
like
you ain't kidding.
getting more into
Like,
their history about it.
oh yeah,
Right.
oh yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. I
That's
got to
great.
see
So,
an actual guillotine, and let me tell you what, that was something else. They put a watermelon in it, and dropped it, and it went, poof, and I was like, oh wow,
really? That's crazy.
it was
That
something else.
is, yeah. So, have you're an actress as well, correct?
I have been in a couple of films as an extra. I still keep in touch every once in a while with Tom Smigala, and he
Okay.
did one with Tom Green, and I actually got to be in it and sing with Tom Green, and I scare children and small animals whenever I try to sing. So it's not a good thing. I don't think that made it into the film, but it was like Interview with Monsters. I haven't
Right,
watched it yet. I've bought the DVD, but I am just, you're afraid of how you're going to appear. Am I
right.
going to look like an idiot or something like that? So I have yet to watch it. But after that, I decided that this face and this personality belongs behind the camera. Mm.
What's up, IG? Thank you for logging in, and thank everybody else that's logging in. Thank you guys so much. So, uh, you know, being behind the scene, it's not an easy job as well. There's a lot of responsibilities with being behind the scene and just acting. You know, so what part of it you like, the directing part or the producing part of it?
Well, I've never directed.
Okay,
Um, for me, I like, of course, the writing. I immerse myself in my writing, and I think I like the aspect of kind of watching it all come together.
right,
I guess more like a creative producer. Um, there are people. My dream director for Pagan is actually Michael Cuddles,
mm,
um, and I would love to learn from him. But right now, I haven't done a lot behind the camera. I just pretty much have written. So I'm really enthusiastic about seeing how it all is going to come together.
yes, that's the
And
beauty of it. That's the
it
beauty of it.
it is. It is. And I never knew Michael Cuddles was actually a director.
Mm,
And I sat down, and I was a huge Walking Dead fan, still am. And the episode where the Whisperers were introduced, that just from the beginning grasped me. And then I found out later that Michael Cuddles actually was the one that directed that. And I was like, that's it. That's who we need. And just to actually be behind the scenes and just watch it and see it come to life is just where I'm at right now. That is what I'm longing for.
Mm. Yeah, and that's the amazing part of it, watching it when it all comes together, and you're sitting back. This time you're sitting back because now you're watching the product. You're not
Hmm.
creating it. You're not creating it. So you're in the mix. You're doing things. So when you sit back and you say, "Okay, it's done," let me sit here and watch it and
Hmm.
see my product, and that's a great feeling. I know it's nerve breaking because you want to make sure that it's a great job, and
Hmm.
people's reaction to it. um I love that as well. I love to watch myself, basically, Denise, on film,
Yeah.
because a lot of people don't. A lot of people do. I'm one of the ones that do, because as an actor, I'm always learning, right? I'm always
Uh-huh.
learning, and I want to be the best at what I do. So when I watch a film, people go, "Oh, you watch yourself?" Yeah, I need to watch myself, because as an actor, I need to know what my flaws are,
Hmm.
on the scene, to see what I can um do better, or how to change my character to a different character, same character but maybe a different demeanor, so I like to watch myself and films so that I can make myself better at what I do. But I know
Yeah.
some people don't like it. Some people just don't are not for camera, like you said you was backstage, but you rather be behind the camera. you know I want to learn it all. I want to do the acting. I want to experience it all, the acting, the behind the scenes.
Hmm.
um Maybe not much the producing. I seen the producer side. I don't like the producer
Honestly,
side of it.
it looks like a very stressful process.
Yes, it
For
does so
me,
much.
seeing what's up here and
Mhm.
everything that I can visualize, and it's amazing, and just to see it come out is
Right.
more than you could ever imagine, to
I
see
know.
that vision come to life.
Right. And to
And
know that, I'm sorry, and to know that you are a creator, you're
mhm.
creating, that's amazing. Like, if you really sit down and think about it, I'm creating something just out of my mind and coming into life.
I have actually started creating pagan
Wow.
7 to 8 years ago. Is how
Really?
long, yeah, that's how long the world building has taken. So
Wow.
yeah, it's taken seven, and in that process, it's also been teaching myself the proper format and the proper way to write for the screen versus a novel or descriptive type. But yeah, 8 years. I mean, when people watch movies or a television show, they don't realize everything that the writer actually does and researches in order to tell the story correctly, to pull people into the world, because if you don't believe in the world that you're making, nobody else is going to.
Right.
Right.
That's right. You're creating your own world, your own,
Hmm.
you know,
And at the same
original.
time, you have to relate to others.
Yes.
So yeah, and I'm long-winded. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. You know, being in the industry, and knowing what you know now, what are some of the things that you, being a director or producer, would change, you know um as far
Oh
as the
boy.
industry? What would you change? What would you make different to maybe ease off or make things better?
Well, I would go back to the age of 32 and retain all the information that I have now
Mm,
and apply it then.
right. Yeah, we all kind of
Um,
start late, right?
I honestly, I think that I would have immersed myself more into the world and found a lot of the local um, indie production companies and the indie filmmakers and started learning from them rather than learning from myself.
Right.
Um, but most of the indie filmmakers for me I live 90 miles south of St. Louis.
Mhm.
So it's a little bit of a drive, especially when you work, but that's what I would have done. I would have learned more from others
Right.
than myself. I mean, what what better way to learn than from those that are already doing it?
That's right. And I say that all the time. Like, when you go do a film and being an actor, you watch others. I like to watch other that been in the industry longer than I have. Because you pick up things from them.
Hmm.
Certain texture, face textures that you might not use, that you might need to use. How to pose yourself for a certain line. Things like that. I look at when I'm on set from people that have done it more than I have, just to kind of learn more about it,
Yeah.
and
You
always
know,
ask questions. You know, I like to ask questions when I see something and I'm not too sure
well,
about it.
you're never going to learn if you don't.
That's right.
And
So
that comes down to spirituality as well. I mean, how are you going to know anything if you do not ask?
right,
Me and my aunt used to get into a lot of arguments about that, and I was like, "Hey, God wants me to questioning. How else am I going to learn?" But I mean, what you just said makes a lot of sense, but that also comes down to there's a huge difference between actors and writers. Many of us writers are kind of introverted. I call myself a social introvert. I love people, but when I first meet them, I'm quiet, I'm shy, but then when I get to know you, I don't ever shut up. So,
but that's a good thing. It's because you're trying to give yourself some time to feel the vibes. You know,
yeah. Hmm.
see if you can how to approach this certain individual.
And then
Yeah,
once you immerse yourself, pretty much most of what I write is supernatural based. So when I immerse myself into that world, sometimes I come off as kind of weird to others. Somebody asked me one time, they're like, "Do you really believe in vampires?" Because I was telling a story of when I was a kid, and I was one of them kids. I'd make sure all my feet were tucked into the blankets, and I was all covered up in case the vampires were flying outside my window. And I was like, yeah, of course I do. We can't go to the bottom of our ocean or to the realms, far realms of space. Who's to say that chupacabra or vampires and werewolves are not real? I can't say it for sure.
right. Right, and we're known for London. London is known for vampires. The UK,
Mhm.
that side of town, right? So we may need to talk to some people out in London to see how true that
Yeah.
is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. So when you start conversations like that, people are like, you are whacked out, lady.
uh, yeah, but it's surprising how far your imagination can go.
No,
With,
yeah.
when you're thinking like that, like that movie. What's it called? The young lady. It was wolves and vampires. What was the name of that film?
Oh, Underworld?
Underworld. Oh my God! I seen all of them from the beginning. I
Oh,
love that.
every
I
single
love that.
last one. Now, I will tell you, I am not into sparkly vampires. That to me just is insane.
Right.
But yeah, Underworld was that was the
That
bomb. I
that
absolutely love it.
yes. I wish there were more.
Uh-huh.
That was a film that caught my attention, and I sat there and watched the whole thing because it was that
Yeah,
good. It was
yeah,
just that good. And it's the same thing with like the Crow, the movie The Crow. Um,
yes,
Another
yes.
great
That
film.
amazing movie,
And
amazing.
those are like classic types of movies. Like Scarface. Everybody talks about Scarface, and it's and other great movies. Um, so when you write, you like to write about. Do you write more horror, suspense,
Yes.
thrillers, or action movie? What's your preference on that? What do you like?
I am really into, like I said, the supernatural.
Okay.
I like things that go bump in the night. Um, I do have a kids movie that is kind of a bump in the night for kids
Mhm.
that we're going to be working on soon. But, I was talking to another writer the other night, and he is just so against horror. And I said, why? He said, well, it makes no point. I said, yes, it does. Horror teaches us about ourselves. And he's like, well, what do you mean? He's like, not every movie has to make a political point. I am more into films that teach us about who we are. And I explained to him that it is in the darkness of our lives and how we react to it is what forms us as a person. It's those choices and those decisions that make you who you're going to become 5, 10 years from now, not all the good, happy things. So for me, to explore the darkness is to explore yourself and explore humanity and mankind and what makes us tick, what makes us do the things that we do.
Right, right. Good point. That's a good point. Who would you love? What SAG actor would you love to have play in one of your films?
Tati, I'm probably going to say it wrong. Tati Gabrielle.
Tati Gabrielle.
Oh yeah, there is one of my characters. I actually modeled after her mannerisms, after the way that she talked. She is a badass, and I absolutely love her.
Yeah.
Absolutely love her.
Good,
She
good.
is, yeah, yeah. She is cool.
What character would you have her play?
She would. So in the pilot, you haven't gotten to that part yet. At the
Right.
very end, she's introduced. Her name is Tabitha, and she is almost immortal.
Mm,
And she is a protector, and she is a warrior, and she is not a person that I would want to come across in a dark alley. She has a lot of wisdom. And every time I talk about different characters, I always say, God, I love Tabitha, or God, I love Jackson. And the thing is that you form such a personal relationship with your characters.
mhm.
You love each and every one. I've got one that you love to hate. And I still love her because to me, they're almost like real people. And I
Right.
actually have Cynthia Rothrock is interested in playing a different kind of character for
Cynthia.
Penguin.
Cynthia. Yes, Cynthia. I don't know her personally, but I know my friend works with her. Um, he's
I
from
don't know her personally either, but we were able to get the pilot to her,
oh,
and
okay.
she really liked it, and it's a different kind of role for her.
Right.
So, when everything goes through, I am really stoked to get to work with her.
Yeah. I would love to meet her. She has done so many films in the past, and she's a great martial artist as well.
Hmm.
You
And
know.
she seems like just a kind, down to earth person.
Yes,
And,
she does. She
and
does.
yeah, those are the kind of people I want. If you've got an ego, I want nothing to do with you.
Right, right.
You know,
She's down to earth. She seems like she's easy to talk to and
Mhm.
and work with. And that's important in this industry, to be able to be liked and welcomed when you come into to a different,
Yeah,
atmosphere of people.
yeah. I
So
just got to get over this whole being nervous and shy.
yeah,
Mary, she's one of my best friends, and her and my other friend Jen, they're like, you're fine. Just
yeah.
speak words. You know how.
Yes, you're a writer. Hello, right?
Yeah,
Right. I mean, I get it. Some people I was shy at one point, you know what I'm saying? But I had to open up and
yeah.
do what I love to do. And this is what I love to do. So in order for me to do what I love to do, I had to open up and be me, be myself. People are gonna like you for who you are, they're not. It's just the way it is.
Well, you
But
have a very bubbly personality.
yeah,
You're so happy it's infectious. And that's the kind of people that the world needs.
right,
You
right. More people like you and I, okay?
know. Just
Okay.
hopefully.
Yeah, thank you very much. That was so kind of you. So when are you looking forward to starting to, shoot your first project? Like what time frame do you have on this project that you're working on?
It depends on when I can get the money.
Okay, okay, yeah. Well, that's always
Yes,
been the the
it
big
it
problem.
is. I mean, it's not necessarily going to be um, a cheap project, but it's not going to
Right,
be one of the most inexpensive. It's going to kind of fall kind of like right there in the middle.
right.
The thing about Pagan is that it's going to have CGI, but then we have like Mary Spezia, who's going to do a lot of the makeup and things
Mary,
that.
Mary's
Yes.
involved in this. Oh, I love Mary. I can't wait to see her. She's so.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love Mary.
She's
Oh wow! So there's people there that I'm gonna know besides you.
yeah, yeah.
That's
Lots
awesome.
of them probably.
Yeah, that's
So
so cool. I love that.
we're definitely looking to try to get um, Netflix or some kind of streaming service.
Right.
And Sabrina's asking how the writer strike is
Yeah,
affecting.
affecting
Well,
you.
I'm
Yeah.
not a WGA writer, so you have to have so many credits before you can do that. And while I sympathize with the WGA and I stand behind everything that they're fighting for, so you
Yes.
know I'm in a place where I can still pitch, I can still do what I need to do. So we're out there, like I said, we're pitching. We submitted to a few different production studios and we've gotten responses from two, and they said it's a strong project, it's interesting, but it's just not what they're looking for right now. And that's because of the darker content. We're going to take man at his barest and worst time, and we're just going to blow it up even more.
Mm.
So we're opening the gates of hell. You
Okay.
know, I I, I
This
describe
is
it is a mixture of supernatural and the stand,
yes.
and
Yes.
it most
Beth.
people get it, they're like, we got to do this, and it's like, yeah, give me the money, and we're in business.
Right.
So
Everything else is in play except the money thing. And it's
yes.
that's the hardest thing to raise is the cash to get the film going. Um,
Hmm.
that's always been, I think, everyone else's problem. Um, but once you get it enough funds, I've known some people to do like films and with low budget. I mean, like
Hmm.
really low budget, under like $5,000, and made great. The writing was awesome. Whoever wrote the script was great. Whoever had the camera knew what they were doing, the angles, what shots to look at, the close-ups, the long shots, and the editing.
Yeah.
I thought it
Yeah.
was a
We.
big I thought it was a big, budget film, but it was like under
Yeah.
5,000. He was like, yeah, he was like, it's just the people you got that know. If they know what
Mhm.
they're doing, you can
Yeah.
make something that looks bad really good if you got the real
Oh yeah.
technicians behind it. So mhm.
Well, I have a friend that's going to be one of the lead roles. Santiago Cirillo. I probably said his last name wrong, but he is an actor. Been in numerous shows, numerous movies, and he is willing to make Pagan. We've just got to kind of get our budget together and start fundraising, and then we're going to fundraise for the trailer and use that as proof of concept to try to get more money. We're going to exhaust every avenue that we can. I am a hustler and I will not give up. And that's kind of the mindset that you have. If you're going to write something and after the first two no's fold, then you don't have what it takes. You have to have thick skin. And remember that with every rejection, it means your work got out to someone.
Yes,
Someone is now going to talk about it and say, you know what? This wasn't for me, but hey, it might be up your alley. Just keep on trucking.
Yeah, 100%. And when you got a great story, someone is going to stop there and listen and read it. And the thing about you know the stuff you sent me, I started reading like the first two 4 pages, and already I was hooked on Beth. You know,
I
I
love
wanted
that.
I
I
wanted
love.
yes, I wanted to know more about her. You know, um, when she was stuck in her situation and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Um,
I would
I was
tell
like,
you more, but I would really give it away. But
yeah,
by the
yeah.
end of episode 3 into episode 4, you will you'll find out a lot more.
Yes, I'm excited. I just can't wait to see Denise. I'm excited. Like, I'm like, holy crap, where is this going? What I started thinking, I started thinking, putting myself in your position as I was reading it, like where your mind set was at the moment
Mhm.
you started to read that. I was like, wow, she has an imagination that is incredible. You
All right,
know,
throw me on some Evanescence, make a cup of coffee, and just go to town.
really, that's so talented. You know,
And I've got a wonderful writing team. I had one writer that started with me, and she wants to rejoin once we get a contract, but she's got other projects that she has to work on. So she's kind of helped with some content. And then I've got two other women. I mean, this is a girl power strong
yes, I
thing.
like that.
Yeah, we brainstorm and we talk, and we have a lot of fun. I mean, we were doing creature concept today. We were um, designing a succubus that's going to be part of um, season 1, and it's. I wish I could tell you where it's going, but by the end of season 1, you are
Yeah.
going to call me up and you're going to call me every name in the book and say, "How dare you do it like this?" And you know what I'm going to tell you? It's for a
What?
reason, because you're going to tune into season 2.
That's right. And that's the key. Bring them in. Bring them in with action and suspense. And
Hmm.
thriller. I think that's where you end your movie when you're doing them by sections like that, like one, two, three, and four, chapter one, two, three, and four, is the
Yeah.
end. How you end it. You know,
Hmm.
and make people be like, man, what's going to happen next? If you can get people to do that when you're at the end of your,
That makes you a
short film,
success. That's where
that
you
makes
are.
you
Yep.
a success because you know what happened to the film, not Scarface, for an example, where he
Hmm.
ended, where he died, right? And people were like, man, because it was so much action there. And then was a rumor about his wife at the time that she couldn't have no kids or whatever. So I heard that
Hmm.
she was pregnant and it was gonna be his son coming back for revenge. It was crazy, but it was entertaining to hear it.
Yeah. Yeah,
you
but
know,
I'll tell you what, one thing about when I'm watching a TV show or film is you can tell when a writer just wants to end it. And to me, that's lazy writing. And when it comes down to Pagan, there is no lazy writing, because I'm not going to wrap it up in pretty pink bows, because I want you to tune in for the
yes,
next episode.
that's right,
I don't want to end it in a way that I'm going to be looking at the TV screen going, "What the hell?
right.
You did not just say," I mean, I get mad. Oh, I I
Denise,
start fussing, and my husband's looking at me like, "What is wrong?" I'm like, "How could they do that? You cannot end it like that. That is so sloppy."
right,
And
right,
that's just kind of my pet peeve right
right.
there.
And I agree. You got to keep the suspense going. You got to keep it. The second one better than the first one. The third one better than the second one. You know,
Yeah.
uh, you constantly have to keep coming with great ideas and how to end
Hmm.
this last film, the short film. How are we going to end it? Um,
Yeah.
you know,
And you
and
have to be original.
Yes.
So many people are doing copycats, and this is entirely original, you know. And I'm not copying off of Supernatural. I'm not copying off of the originals, which, by the way, it was one of my favorite shows ever.
Mhm.
Um, I was in love with Elijah.
Uh,
Who wasn't? But it's a ride.
so
It
Sabrina
is.
wants to know. I'm sorry, Sabrina wants to know what is your greatest challenge in writing?
So this is part of the reason why you have a writing team. When you sit there and people, they read a book or they watch a movie, but they don't see how, as a writer, you're sitting there going, okay, I just wrote this scene, but where do I go next? Because there is a blank slate in front of you. The guy's in the cornfield, and I want to get him to space. How do I tie these in together? And that's when, as a writing group and a writing team, you come together and you start, well, he builds a rocket out of cardboard boxes, and maybe 20 years, like, you know, that is the greatest challenge, is deciding you've got point A and you've got the end, and how do you get everything in between?
Between yes,
Mhm. And Pagan itself has evolved over the years as it's been writing to what it is today. It is almost completely different than what it was, and that's because of a great writing team. That is because we have worked together to move the scenes forward, to move the story forward.
mm,
I'm imaginative, but I can't see the whole picture at one time. I know I want to get here, and here's the end of episode 10. Let's
right.
fill it in. It's like a puzzle. You start with your edges and you work yourself in.
Yeah. So who decides what gets the final say of for so many writers to come
Mhm.
together and create this? Who makes the final call and say, okay, this is what we're going to go with?
Pretty much me,
Okay.
because I am the creator and this writing team. So we're working on Pagan. One of the other girls has a feature film that we're doing, and she is lead on it. We take turns, so it's not just my project. I've got a feature, and then the other girl has a rom com that she wants to do. So whoever idea it is the lead. But we come together and we kind of vote and we talk about it and we talk it through.
Right.
And so far, there hasn't been any, well, I want it this way and I want it this way. As a team, we gel so well that we're almost like the same person, but a different aspect. Like with me, I see the story, I see the characters, I can hear the dialogue. Jen is concept. She is the queen diva of concept.
Mhm.
She's the one that comes up with a, okay, well, let's move it this way. Well, what do you think about this? I'm like, you know what, girl, that is awesome. Sarah has a past of being a romance
Mhm.
novelist. So when it comes to the backstories and the love stories, because you always got to have the love,
Yes,
she she can fill that in, and together it just creates a wonderful world.
a masterpiece.
And yes, man, you will be getting IMDb credit for it. I'm going to take you all as far as I can. He is in Pagan.
Oh, is
He's got
he?
a good role. Yes, he does. Yes, he
Okay.
does.
I do know him too. He was on my show. Stunt
Great
man.
guy.
Yeah,
He's the
great
one that
guy.
I'm like, I am so nervous. I'm sweating like a demon in a church. And he's like, just be yourself. And I'm like, try.
So that's awesome. I know he was on the show not too long ago. Great guy.
Hmm.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So this is fun. This is so Marie, um, Mr. Stuntman here is on there. Um, so many great people that you have on this
Oh,
cast.
it's become a family. It really
And
has. I mean, the actors that I have, which every role is not filmed because we want to try to get some name recognition, like Tati Gabrielle. That's I hear angels in heaven and everything. Um, but
buddy.
we have been together as a unit for so long to where, I'll send them updates. Well, they said no and they said no, but we're going to do this, that we become like a family.
Right.
And, there's one actor who one day he really made me feel good. We were in our group message and I was typing and I was asking him something and I saw where he was reading the messages. I was like, "Hey buddy, I see you." And he comes back with, "No, we see you and we see everything that you were doing and how hard you were working for us and for this project." And it just really touched my heart, and it gave me, at that point, it kind of gave me the kick in the rear end that I needed to pull my head out of my, because I was in a bad spot. I was like, nobody's going to buy this. What am I doing? And he said that, and I was like, I'm fighting not just for this, but for all of us, because in each and every one of them deserves greatness and the chance to show that greatness.
Right.
I love my peoples.
Right. It's important to have a team and feel that love, that great energy, everything positive, everybody coming up with ideas and putting it together to create something beautiful. Such as this film you guys putting together, Pagan. Um, and I can't wait to see, the outcome. I can't wait to see your vision come to life. What you put in your head. To me, that's big to me. Because
Yeah.
it just shows me where your mind goes, and that's amazing to see someone else creation, come to life. And
Hmm.
'cause we all have our own creations, right? And I'm like, wow, I would like to
Yeah.
bring what I got here to life like she did. That's awesome, fabulous to be able to do.
Every film, every TV show starts with a blank page.
Right, right.
But
So
I'll tell
some,
you what, if you know Michael Cuddles or anybody like that, buddy, send them my way.
right, right, right. Wow. So Sabrina's asking, what can be done to help you achieve your goals?
An introduction to Michael Cuddles and
There you
have him
go.
read my pilot and go like, "Hey, girl, let's talk. I know people from The Walking Dead that got the money." you know,
Yeah.
um, it's like I told you that once this happens, um, and like Sabrina's asking, how can listeners help me manifest my goals faster? It's just the belief in it. It is the belief in the story because it is, like I said, it is about everyone, every single one of us, and how we face adversity. And just keep dreaming, keep believing, and
Yes.
we're going to get there. It will be a Cinderella story. And I keep telling the girls I'm writing with, one day they're going to make a movie about us making this. We're going to get there because as soon as it hits, I mean, it is going to become a cult classic. I truly
Right.
believe it. And we're going to invite influencers from YouTube and TikTok to be guests on the show, which will open up a whole new viewer base. So, yeah, let's do this.
Right. I can't wait. Sabrina's asking, do you have a GoFundMe? Uh,
I'm going to be starting one here shortly. I'm trying to get a good idea of what we need for the trailer. Um, Trailers aren't cheap. I am finding out.
right.
A lot of it comes in salary, and my amazing team has been willing to donate their time um, for about 3 to 5 days to shoot the trailer. So all we need right now, I think I was quoted about 15 to 20,000
Okay.
to film the trailer, and I will be getting that out shortly. I had somebody that was supposed to be doing a few things that she kind of got busy, and we've all got jobs, we've all got a life, we have families, and once we're at the point to where we can concentrate on this full time,
Hmm.
then it's going to roll, and it's going to roll uphill.
Right. So is this going to be like? I don't know if I asked you this, but is this going to be like a series or is it just going to be uh, a film? That's it.
Oh, no, 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 no. This is a series. This is a story that
This
can
is
easily go on for 7 seasons.
yes,
You
yes.
know,
I can see it.
somebody wanted me to put it into a feature, and I tried. Oh goodness, I tried. And let me tell you what, there is no way I can condense it down into a movie. I mean, it could be a franchise of movies, but there's no way possible that
Right.
everything that I have for 10, because the first season is 10 episodes. It's set up for streaming because, I don't know if something like this would make it on the CW because it is dark. It's not gory, but it's dark. And there's so much adversity with religion and beliefs and politics that it's going to take a brave streaming service to take it on. Um, or not necessarily brave, but a streaming service. So, yeah, I forgot what I was going for. But yeah, yeah, 7 to 10 seasons. That's it. Seven
So
seasons at least.
that's the. I can't wait. I can't wait to see the first season. To tell you the
Oh,
truth,
me either. Me either. I've
I
got
can't wait because I know it's going to explode. Um,
yes.
you know, I read scripts and stuff like that. I write too. I got some scripts here I wrote, and you know, it was eye catching the first couple pages. So I could just imagine, the rest of it, how deeper it gets and how darker it gets, as
Hmm.
I go. So I can't wait to get to that part, and be like, wow, because sometimes um, we got all these great writers and thinkers and creators, and they're never given an opportunity to
Yeah.
show their talent, or expose it. And this is why we got these shows like mine and other shows that are on social media that can help
And
spread.
I appreciate you letting me come on and talk about it. And I keep reading all these things. They're like inner contests,
Yeah,
I have entered pagan in so many contests, and it hasn't made it past the first stage one time.
right,
And it is an amazing story because contests look for things that are more than just a good story. They want to make a point, and you have so many people going up against you that
right,
you really don't stand a chance.
mm, right.
So
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
why.
beat
What was that? You're gonna be what?
I'm gonna beat the odds. I am
Oh
gonna be
yeah,
your son. Just wait.
I believe you are 100%. And that's why we do these shows because we want people to show their talent and talk about what they work. Because maybe someone that's watching could help or might recommend someone for you to talk to or stuff like that. You know what I mean? And this is what the show is all about: is to help people connect with other people and to tell their story and see who's watching that can help out. And so you're you're writing something incredible, and like I said, you said when that hits the format, it's just going to open up something new. You know, uh,
I hope so. It's gonna
yeah,
make people think it really is. We're gonna, instead of showing the differences in people, we want to show the commonality and
yeah,
how even though we're so different, we're all fighting for the same thing.
that's right,
We just got to kind of put the BS behind us, just brush it
exactly.
aside.
Which people
Yep.
find so hard. Which people find so hard to do.
They do, and it's
It's
like it's
so
not
hard to
that
put the
difficult.
BS to the side.
Mhm. It's not that difficult. So
Wow,
yeah.
it is. It is actually simple, Denise. It's really simple. They just
Mhm.
choose not to do it.
Exactly. Exactly. Choice. Choice.
Exactly, it's a choice. I tell that
Hmm.
to people all the time. It's a choice, man. You can be good, you can be bad, you can be whatever you want. It's a choice.
It doesn't take much to be kind.
It doesn't. Love is free. I mean,
Yep,
kindness is free. So why not give it if you have it? If you're original to it.
exactly. Exactly.
I agree
No.
100%. Wow. So what inspiring message would you give anyone that wants to become a writer or a film producer? What would you tell them?
To not give up. That as an outsider, you're going to find yourself knocking on doors, and you just got to beat twice as hard. You've got to hustle twice as hard. You've got to go to cons. You've got to do anything and everything that you can to say, hey, here I am. I'm standing in a sea of people. Here I am, and I am the one that you want to talk to.
That's
you
right.
know, Kick that door in if you've got to, because God knows I've got my steel toe boots on and I'm kicking.
That's right. You have to.
Yeah, you have to. And you have to believe in yourself, and you have to believe in your project. You have to know your project. You
Mhm.
have to know your characters. Because if somebody comes up to you and says, well, what is this about? And you're like, how do I explain this? You're not at the core of what you're trying to do.
Mhm.
So that's the best advice I can give anyone.
Right. Cool. I how can people reach you that want to reach you? Is there any website or
There is not. They can reach me on my personal Facebook because I am always there, or I'm on LinkedIn as well, just Denise Pounds. Um, I think my profile picture is from my wedding, like so many other people. We will be starting up an email soon. We will be starting up a Facebook page. I was hoping to already have that done, but that didn't happen. So um, the girl that's doing it is also an actress, so she kind of got really busy with it.
okay.
So that will be coming soon. So yeah, just reach out to me on Facebook or LinkedIn. I don't really get too much on Instagram, as we all found out at the beginning. I am technology stupid. It's
Welcome to my world.
it's buddy, it's bad. There was one day
Mhm.
I was trying to figure out why I couldn't video with my friends, and 15 minutes later, I touched the top of my screen and uncover my camera, and I'm like, oh, well, snap.
Wow, it happens to me. I am so literate when it comes to computer stuff. You know, I only worked the stuff that I was taught to work. And the stuff that I've learned on my own while playing with the computer and
Yep.
keyboard, and you know, but
And teenagers help.
yeah, kids, my grandkids help. They be like, Grandpa, this, that's the wrong button. It's like this, and they take it
Yep.
and they move everything around. I'm like, okay,
Yep. My 10-year-old granddaughter can show me how to function stuff, and I'm like, how do you do that?
yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah.
But hey,
So
I would not change my generation, because I think where I come from, Gen X, um, because we lived a life of creativity, and I think that that has made me a better creator.
yeah, I agree 100%. And I come from that breed too. You got to create, your way. My mom used to say, you got to create your way. You got to create your way. And I never
Mhm.
understood what she was saying. I was
We
young,
were
but
all Goonies. We were
yeah,
all Goonies.
yeah. So now that I'm older, now I understood exactly what she meant. you know,
Yeah.
because we hard headed, we don't want to listen. You know,
Yep.
until we bump our
Yep.
heads, and,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. I sit there and think about it. It's like, oh man, that's what she meant. Damn it.
5 years later, you're like, okay, I remember what mom said 5 years ago. Jesus Christ, I wasted so many time, so many years. So I want to thank you, Denise, for coming on the show. You was great. We're definitely going to talk more. We got you got my information, and anytime you want to come on the show, you have something that you want to talk about that you think is important for the people know, or another
Thank you.
project, you let me know, and we'll bring you because this is your show, not my show. I'm just here to make it happen.
Well, when we start filming, you're going to come down and you bring your show with you, and
Yes.
you're going to be part of my pack.
Hey, 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 hey. You don't know we turn up out there. So thank you for coming aboard, Denise. And I'll talk to you soon. Anything you need to talk to me about, you got my contact. Just let me know, and we'll make anything happen.
All right. Thank you, darling.
Okay. See you later.
Bye.
Ciao. Yes, folks, that was Denise Pounds. Make sure you guys follow her. Um, she is working on a project, so she'll let you know more about it as she goes. And tune in, folks. Tonight at 7 o'clock, I have another great guest, Jose Gonzalez, coming on the show, and find out what he got going on in his life. So tune in and remember to share because sharing is caring. And thank you guys for coming on the show and showing Denise support. You guys are awesome. You guys rock. And I'll see you guys at 7 p.m. Peace, love, respect.